Finally, let me introduce Malthus Mills, their board member and tenant leader, who's going to talk about our proposed rent control ordinance and our campaign to let the people of Providence decide whether we should have rent control.
Thank you very much. Again, my name is Malthus Mills, and I've been with I've been with DARE for over 5 years. And as you heard from speakers previous to me, we're in a bad situation. Because of the housing crisis, there are more renters and going to be more renters than ever. There's a lot of corporations and organizations that are buying up houses. So buying up houses that were once lived in by owners, and what they're doing is they're buying them out. They're doing they're slapping some paint here, slapping some paint there, and then charging double. The folks that live in those houses have no chance, because if you do have a dispute with a landlord, you go to court. Landlord usually has a lawyer, and the tenants are barely paying the rent, so they can't afford a lawyer. Invariably, they lose. So today we are announcing again our rent control campaign. And you say, why rent control? For the very reasons that we are here and that you have heard before. What will rent control do? Rent control makes sure that the landlords can only raise rent once per year and by a small percentage, not like they do now, raise it as much as they want, whenever they want. A rent board with members who are tenants, landlords, and city officials, just like us, would decide how much rent could be raised and resolve conflicts between landlords and tenants. That way everybody's not in court. You know what I'm saying? You have a better and a fair chance, because people like you are there to look out for your interests. Okay, also we're gonna have the landlords to offer a year lease. And this is protection for the tenants, because if you have a month-to-month lease, they can put you out and give you only 30 days. I ask you, how many people here have ever tried to look for an apartment and find one in 30 days? Impossible. I know I haven't. You know, I was trying to get a 2-bedroom apartment for me and my son, and that took me a year and a half, and I still haven't found one yet. So, you know, these are some of the things that rent control will help protect you from. Now, I know everybody up here has been giving you statistics, but I'm gonna go real quick here. Around 60% of residents rent, and well over half of those are low-income people. 80% of low-income renters are cost burden. You know what I'm saying? That means that they're paying more than 40, 50, maybe 60% of their money, of their income, just on a place to live. How much money does that give you to do anything else? How much? Hardly nothing, right? Okay, also, a majority of Providence renters are people of color, ranging from Black, Latino, Asian Pacific, and Native Americans and other mixed race. Anywhere from 67 to 76% of those residents are of those races. Also, not only people of color, but the LGBTQ communities, the disabled, elderly, and youth, they always bear the brunt of rising prices, gentrification, and poor housing condition. How do you think your child can go to school and concentrate on his schoolwork if, you know, he's cold, if the railing breaks on his on the steps, he gets hurt? You know what I'm saying? These are the things that need to be looked at. These are the things that need to be taken care of. Households in majority of color in Providence have lost $2,700 in home equity by the foreclosures crisis of 2012, compared to $1,700 in segregated white communities. I think that is a wide disparity, and it should not be. You know, also, landlords and real estate speculators benefit from the current situation, keeping their money and not investing in property. In other words, you got folks that come here from Boston, you know, buy up property, buy up lands, and they don't even live here. So when you call them and say, hey, I need this fixed or this happened, you can't call them 2, 3 o'clock in the morning and say, hey man, come and fix this. They're in Boston, they ain't coming down here for that. You know what I'm saying? They're absentee landlords. And absentee landlords do not make good landlords. So join with us in our campaign for rent control, you know what I'm saying, to help the tenants, to make it a fairer and leveler playing field for everybody to get the things that they need and the things that they want, so that at least they can live, you know, and not be and want to come home. You know what I'm saying? How you gonna want to come home? Your house cold. You ain't got no heat. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to fix pipes. You know what I'm saying? Leaky faucets, all these things here. You know, so, you know, the rent board will take care of these things, and, you know, they will settle disputes between renters and the landlords. Okay, so come join with us, you know what I'm saying, in our rent control campaign. But thank you very much for being here, and let's all help these folks, you know what I'm saying, like the Trottiers here, and move along and have our city with the way we need it, the way we want it to be. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Malthus.